Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi. Take two, screwed it up. It's like I'm talking and nothing's happening. I'm not recording. So Guild Wars 2 has a thing called Reforging. It's coming out. Those were the earnings for the mother company, NC Soft, 9%. So they're investing. It's a 20-year-old game. They're reinvesting into it. They had a group of company that formed ex-AreaNet employees that are going to partner, and they're going to put out content and that other stuff and kind of freshen up the game. It seems like they're making it TV capable, Steam Deck capable. But the thing I like the most, they're improving the graphics. Graphics are okay, but they're doing something to fix them up. It's going to be relatively soon. They're lowering the price for the game, so it's all great news. So that's what you're seeing on the screen if you want to read it slower. The last one is user improvements. Sorry for cussing you too. Hopefully in your omnipotent, give me that one. So in honor of all that, I decided to play Guild Wars 2. Thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing, resubscribing, unsubscribing, more resubscribing. Buy me coffee or a monster drink. So let's get into it. So I'm going to say when it comes out, maybe it's in December, when they announce the release for Guild Wars Reforged, then what I would do is I'd spend the $19.99 and get it. It's not a game with a monthly subscription. You can play the content. The content's good enough. It's a good story. It's a different universe, so it's not something you've ever heard of before. Maybe if you played Guild Wars back in the day, maybe. But this is one of the benefits of Guild Wars. So I'm in this is just every hour, couple of minutes, whatever, live mission where we're escorting a supply mule from one place to another. We don't have to form a group to do this. We're there. I talked to the quest starter. It started, and then a bunch of us just start out and are supporting that oxen, that beast of burden. There's other parts that are just where you can have a multiplayer experience without doing the group or the guild or whatever. Now, they have guild runs and group runs. So like on the weekend, there's these things. So Guild Wars, how you kind of build your character, you get these points that are all over each map. And when you get enough of them, you can buy your skills. And at a certain point, you'll have all the base skills, and then you can do specialization. So it's always interesting to go around and get skill points. So guilds usually have runs where they take you around and do that with you, and you follow the person, and they're either on their Discord or whatever. So that's fantastic. It's a great game. It's going to be even better. It's over 20-year-old game, and they're reinvesting in it. So I think that's pretty exciting. And what they've done on all these major expansions later on, they've increased so what they do, they don't make new characters or new classes. They give new specializations in those classes. So it's kind of good. You kind of get a new character, new tune to play with. There's some sharing of your account. So some things you have a same bank, like crafting materials, all your characters dump into it. I'm an alcoholic. Sorry, YouTube. This character you're seeing right now is a mesmer. So I rolled this character because in the new expansion, there's one of the specializations, extreme or elite specializations, is Troubadour, where you play instruments. I think I've told you before, there's a game called Adran's Call 2. I loved that game. I was a Tumrock, and I would have a drum, and that was my weapon. It was great. In Lord of the Rings Online, I'm a bard, and I have a drum that I shoot my spells with, which is great. And I thought that's what was going to be in here. So I got this character, and I was just going to run it up to 80. And I already have a mesmer. So I just took that mesmer and put it over into that expansion and started doing it. And it's not the same, right? So I don't know if I would have a mesmer. Mesmer's not really, because they're not so tanky. What the mesmer does, it makes illusions, and those illusions attack. So it's kind of like high risk, high reward. Ronan's not really high risk, high reward. Speaking of that, I played, I want to call it Strife Fail, but it's not Strife Fail. It's that game I had the other day, and I was playing that last night. I was a summoner, made a pet class, figured out how to do it, and that thing was awesome. So I got pretty high with that one. And I guess what I do in a lot of these games, I did this in Guild Wars. I did this in Diablo 4. I played all the classes. I wanted to be a shaman because, whatever, YouTube. Don't class shame me. And, but once I got that to a certain level, I got other ones. It's easy to get to, like, of course, I'm partial to the endorphin rush of getting all those levels. So going 1 to 20 pretty fast, that's a pretty good evening. So I played each class. I'm never really a rogue class. It's not my thing. I don't know why. Wasn't my thing in, certainly not in WoW, certainly not in anything else. The closest rogue class is a Nightblade and ESO, but it also has a tanky portion to it. So I spec myself so I'm more tanky. And then Strife Valley, I'm going to call it, but it's not Strife Vale. I'm not going to be a rogue. And in this game, it has a rogue. I'm not going to be a rogue here. And in general, I'm not, at this point in my life, and I'm not a big damage dealer kind of thing. I don't like getting at the end of the fight. And the end of the fight, I got like 10% health. Maybe was never going to die, but now I got to rest. And I know games aren't like that, and you can get potions. But in Vale, I'm just going to call it Vale, I was at a point where I was just, with the skills and how I spec'd myself and how I got my armor, I just always had, my health was always coming up. And that's how I am in ESO, and that's how pretty much every game, that's kind of what I'm looking for. So we're getting near the end of this quest. You'll see we finish it, and then I'll go on to do something else. So Guild Wars 2 is great. Runs on its modest hardware needs. I just kind of an update. I think I was on the Mac playing this, and then I just said they had an Ultra, and then they had like Master Extreme. They had some level below Ultra High, and I put that on, and I got like 43. It's the highest level of this game. I still got 43. So frames per second. So I don't know if that's this, but that's what I was doing. So I'm going to go somewhere here now. This skimmer is what you get. You get a skimmer a long time, but it's like the main, and they buffed it up in the expansion. So I would definitely put Guild Wars in your mix. It's a good game to group with. It's easy to do. Guild Wars is a game you can have healers, but everyone has some type of healing that they can get. And, you know, there's some classes that are like, I'd say they're backup healers, but again, I'm not talking about heavy duty raiding, right? It's a different animal. There is a point of interest underneath here, so I'm going to go down and find it. And on these skimmers, look at me just leveling. On these skimmers, they can go underwater. Anytime now, Ronan. Underwater now. There we go. And so what happens in Guild Wars when you go underwater, you have a breathing device, and then you have a weapon, and you can fight underwater. You could fight the whole game. You could be Submariner, Namor, God of the Seas, or whatever he is. He always was, like when I was a kid, he was in comics. He always was a little bit stuffy. Pretentious, I think. Anyways. You may not have noticed, but normally after I publish the video, about 5 minutes later, I put in the description, because I'm taking an AI. Google has to render the closed captions. So after I upload the video, then there's another like 10 minutes where it's figuring out the closed captions. And then when I publish it, it takes about 5 minutes for Google to give me the prompt to say, ask me any questions. So I asked the video, give me a summary of this video. So that's what you're seeing in the description with the timestamps. Because I just think that's a little extra. Not everyone cares or appreciates that, but I'm doing that for you, YouTube. This was just some guy here. He was fighting someone. Whenever you see an orange circle on the map, that means that there's some activity. He was fighting a boss, and then I rezzed him and then just went on my way. I couldn't find the mission. So there's a lot of depth. It's a good game you can sing. It might be a good game for the holidays, right? You might meet some new friends, do some other stuff. Can't fly, but you can glide. And in some parts of the map, it has updraft. So some people can fly. There's an expansion where they give you a flyable animal, and then you can kind of fly. So here's the next thing. There's a world boss. This is a tough world boss. So, and of course, that's going to be the cover art, is a picture of that. I get over here, and I'm waiting for these other people to engage it. And it put me in a cocoon already, like right away, because I was doing so much damage, YouTube. I don't know what kind of damage I'm doing. I can barely... You've seen me before mash buttons where every button, especially in... it's the keyboard, YouTube. Especially in Diablo 4 where like the map's coming up and all that other stuff because I'm like panicking. I'm just like, I need something. I've started playing a lot of those games. Hades 2, Diablo 4 on the Legion Go in joystick mode, which is good. Guild Wars is great on that. Guild Wars, excuse me, YouTube. Diablo 4 is great on a handheld. So that was a world boss. You get stuff for that. And now I'm trying to finish a mission here. And I'm just going to go fast through all these. The story, I'm not as in tune with these stories. ESO, same thing. I could care less about why you want me to go kill vampires. I'm going to go kill some vampires. And I'm going to turn a werewolf and do it too. Thank you, YouTube. Team Jacob. So there is a lot of content. There's a lot of things to do. It's as much or as little as you want. It can be a game that you just get in and out. You maybe grab a level and then get out of it. Maybe you're a crafter. There's a whole bunch of things you can do. But I was excited that they have this Reforging. Another game I thought about, my son was playing this game called Armor Reforged. That looked kind of good. But always as a dad, you don't want to, yeah, my dad's here. So I don't want to do that to him. Plus, that might be too much involvement for me, right? And I sometimes in my shorts, I'll see that guy in the helicopter dropping people off. He's playing his Vietnam music. How about you be, I wasn't a Vietnam era veteran. How about you be an Iraqi helicopter or Afghanistan helicopter music? It's funny, I kind of hesitated putting some of that stuff up. I'm not one of those people when the patch notes come out. I'm going to go line by line through the content, talk about the patch notes. I think I've led a decent enough life that I can think of things to talk about other than talking about patch notes. But this is such a substantial change in the game. For example, we talked about Amazon giving up on their game, right? And it's been out 4 or 5 years, and Guild Wars is kind of reinvesting in it. So what you got to think about is what makes a game good. And here, let's do some of the similarities between Guild Wars. Let me look at the time between Guild Wars and New World. They both are weapon-based, i.e. when you switch your weapon, you kind of switch your class. That's fantastic. That's a plus on both of them. armor stuff may be kind of similar. It essentially, in some points, it was like Guild Wars. I don't think there was enough of activities to do, and I don't think they had enough quests. Because I think what you're going to see me now, I get done with this quest, and I'm like, okay. And there's that stupid world boss is responding. Smoked me. Killed me. How dare it. There it is. I'm the only person left there, so I'm going to die and go to a... So that's a world boss, right? So now I'm going to die eventually. Go ahead, die. In Guild Wars, you can fight to stay alive. Sometimes you can recover. If you're fighting lower level things, if you kill them or they, you have a tick on them or a damage over time, you can get rezzed just by killing them. So I see that event over there. Now, YouTube, now let's see what everyone wants with Ronan and Kazi. How are we doing on time? Almost out. It's going to be close. Thanks, YouTube. Talk to you again soon. Bye.